Hi everyone, so today I want to show you a 6x6 flying seagull card. I've already done a 5x7, but I thought I want to show you a 6x6. So that's what it looked like when it's all stood up. So like that, and then if we just fold these flaps down like that, those fit behind. You can see they fit behind, and then that means it will then fit in an envelope for a 6x6 card. So yeah, so the papers I've used here, this beautiful watercolor print and also this mat as well, is from In Love Art Shop, and it's part of this pack which I showed on my my In Love Art Shop craft haul. So it's beautiful. I like the fact that you've got all the different papers, but you've also got like a watercolor background. So that one there is actually this one here, and then I've used one of these pattern papers that goes with it. I think it was maybe that one. Yeah, no, this one here. It goes really nicely with that one. So yeah, so I've just put them together, and then the topper and also this pattern, this marbled pattern paper, is from my Pastel Posies pack, which is available on Etsy in my Etsy shop. So head over there. If you do go over to In Love Art Shop, don't forget to use my code ICEDImages, which will get you 20% off, and it also helps me out as well. But yeah, so that's the card for today. You've got space on the back to write as well. Perfect. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so for this card, you're going to need 3 pieces of base card in total, plus whatever you use for your topper. Now, the card I'm using here is not that thick. I would say it's probably about a 220, 250 maybe. It's not very thick. So I've got one piece that is 6 inches by 8 3/4, and one piece that's 6 inches by 9 1/4. And then you've also got another piece that's 2 by 6. Now the width of this can change, so it always has to be 6, but the 2 inches can change depending on the height of your topper and what your topper looks like. So let's bring the scoreboard in. Okay, so let's start with the piece that is 6 inches by 8 3/4. So you want to score along the 8 3/4 inch edge, and you're going to score at 3 inches, at 5 7/8, and at 8, and then yeah, that's it. And then you've got your 8 3/4. So 3 inches and 5 7/8. This panel here, put a little cross on it because that's your 3 inch wide. So these two pieces are both 2 7/8 wide. This one's 3. So just write a 3 on it in the middle. You need to know that because I actually did this in the 5x7 recently, and I got it in a muddle and ended up with the wrong size in the wrong place. So your 2 3-inch pieces need to be in the middle of your card. You'll see in a minute what I mean. So then if you bring in your 9 1/4 inch piece, you're going to score this at 2 7/8, at 5 3/4, and then at 8 3/4. And so what you're going to do is you will notice that where your tab is, here's your tab, this one here is 3 inches. These two are 2 7/8. Okay, so you just need to make sure because these two need to go together. So we're going to put that to one side, and then we're going to bring in the 2x6, and on this one we're going to score at 1 inches, 2 inches, and then at 4 inches and at 5 inches. Okay, so starting with this piece, we're going to go valley, mountain, mountain, valley. So you should end up with that. So we're going to put that to one side for now. And then if we bring in our 2 pieces, so starting with the one that we did first of all without the tab. So on this one, going from right to left, so my 3 inch piece on the right, you want to go valley and then mountain. So when it's folded up like that as a concertina, you'll notice you've got a bit of a card exposed here, which is fine, and you want it to be like that. So then if we bring this one in, so I've turned it round, so well, no, I haven't, it's the same way. So my tab is on the left, then I've got my 3 inch panel, then my 2 pieces that are 2 7/8 inches wide, which is fine. So this one here needs to be a mountain, then a valley, then a mountain. So you should end up with that. So now what we want to do is go ahead and stick the 2 pieces together. So as I said, because you've marked 3 and 3, these 2 3-inch pieces need to be in the middle, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add either red tape or glue to your tab, something strong. So I'm going to go ahead and use my good old Yoo-hoo. And then we're going to take that cut edge and just line it up with the fold line of the tab, and just make sure the whole thing is straight as well. Best way to do that is if you bring these in, you'll soon see if you're veering off, and you should have a gap in the middle there. You need that gap because we're going to be putting this piece on in a minute. Okay, so once you're all fully dried, you can just go ahead and just kind of make sure it all sticks together. So you should end up with a piece that looks like that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and I'm going to put glue on the back of this side here. And then I'm going to turn it over, and this score line here is going to line up with the score line there. And I'm going to put it as central as I can. So you should end up with that, so it's sticking off. Just make sure that is straight. I've noticed that wasn't quite straight. And then on the other bit here, this last piece here, we're also going to put some glue on the underside of that as well. And then we're just going to fold the whole thing so it's sort of, you know, flat like this. Fold it all in, concertina it all up, and stick it down. And then what happens then is once you've stuck it all, when you pop it, can you see how that pops forward? So that is going to be what we're going to put our topper on. But it's best to put it on now, because then it just means that these little tabs here get hidden under your mats and layers. So that's really useful. Okay, so now it's time to decorate. If you want to, you can cut 2 pieces that fit this and then 4 pieces that fit these. But I've just gone for the same measurement throughout, and it just means that I will have a slightly bigger border on these inside pieces than I do on the outside pieces. So it's really up to you. So I've cut out in total 8 pieces of mat that are 2 5/8 by 5 3/4, and then I've cut 6 pieces of pattern that are 2 3/8 by 5 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now. I'm just going to stick my patterns onto my mats. Okay, so I've stuck all those down. So now I'm going to go ahead and stick these all in. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so that's the front done. So then on the back, these 2 panels here just need those remaining 2 pieces of mat that were 2 5/8 by 5 3/4. As I said, if you want to go for 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, they will fit on there. But I've just done it. It just means you've got a slightly bigger border. But to be honest, it's that negligible, it doesn't really matter. And then on top of that, you want to stick your 2 white pieces that are the same size as your patterns. So these are 2 3/8 by 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and stick those down and then stick them onto the back of the card. Okay, so I've gone ahead, I just stamped that side, stuck that down. So let's flip that back over again, and then we just need to put a greeting on. So I've decided to use one of my printed greetings from my Pastel Posies pack because it fits perfectly with the colour scheme. So that's just going to go on the front there. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some glue on there, or tape. If you want to, you can do like a nice big panel like I did with the advent calendar card. It's really up to you, but I decided I quite like the smaller panel in the front. I feel like the whole thing looks a little bit less blocky if you do it like that. So we're going to go ahead and stick this down. There you go. And then obviously if you want to add extra decoration, you can. If you want to keep it simple, I might put just like 3 gems at the top there and 3 gems at the bottom there, just to kind of add a bit extra in. But yeah, so that's your card. And then obviously the whole thing folds down like that, will fit in an envelope for a 6x6 card. And then when the person gets it, they can just open it up, and then it will sit on their mantelpiece like that. So there you go. So it's quite a nice card to do. Obviously it would be nice if all the panels were the same, were equal, but it just means you have that gap in the middle which allows for that mechanism. If you go for all equal panels, you then have a problem. You would have to do it like that in the envelope so they meet in the middle, so you wouldn't see your topper. So that's the only thing. But yes, it's quite a nice card, very pretty. And yeah, you can post it as long as you don't go too thick with your layers. You can then post it. This would, at the moment, this would go through in the UK post, because as I said, my card's not very thick. I've used, you know, 160 GSM for for my pattern and my mat. And so yeah, so it goes fine. But yes, I hope you liked it. Don't forget to use my code ICEDImages if you go over to In Love Art Shop. You'll get your 20% off, and it helps me out as well. Don't forget to head over to my Etsy shop. This Pastel Posies pack is in there, along with quite a few other packs that I've made over the months. So yeah, and please like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.